Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. Currently, we are still in this downtrend that I have been covering over the last couple of days. And right now, as I'm recording this, we are potentially breaking out above this descending trend line here. Now, if we were to confirm a break above, do I think that we are fully out of the woods yet? No, I do not think so, because this is a pretty steep angle to the downside. So yeah, it is not the most reliable trend line here. And we could just see a repeat of what we saw over here. We had a steep decline. We actually ended up breaking the trend line, but then after that kept chopping and moving further to the downside from there. So that is a potential risk to actually look out for in the charts. For now though, as I'm recording this video, we are still below this trend line. So yes, it is still completely possible to actually get another rejection and more downside from there. So yes, this 4-hour time frame is still looking bearish right now. Besides that, if I take a look at the 1-day time frame, you can see that this bearish divergence is still playing out in the charts. Typically, when you see a bearish divergence confirm, you will either see some choppy sideways price action or potentially some bearish momentum on that 1-day time frame. And of course, so far we are seeing that bearish momentum. So that's also a bit of a backdrop for this analysis here. I'm simply leaning more bearish because coming back to this 4-hour time frame, recently I was warning for resistance to start showing up at about 107K for the Bitcoin price. You can go back in my videos from about a week ago and watch that. Either way, we have been bearish this entire way down. And so far, what I'm simply seeing here is a breakdown below this ascending channel, getting a move back up to flip this previous level of support into a level of resistance and then actually rejecting from there. And that is why so far with this 4-hour time frame being bearish, as well as the 1-day time frame looking bearish, I've simply been bearish here in my last couple videos. As far as support to the downside goes, I am looking for something like this, where this level between 92 and 89K is going to be a big level of support for Bitcoin. Also considering that there's a lot of liquidity in this 89K level. So that is something that I'm keeping an eye out for on this 1-day time frame. Now, if we were to break down below 89K with confirmed candle closes, the last chance for Bitcoin to hold here is at about 85K, because if we were to confirm a breakdown below 85K, it is starting to look pretty bearish here in the charts. At that point, we would even be looking at something like this level here at about 73K for the Bitcoin price. Now, do I think that we have to worry about that right now? No, I do not think so. At the very least, we would first have to see some kind of break below 89K. So yeah, I'm just not going to worry about it for now. And the reason I mentioned 89K is because if we take a look at this Bitcoin liquidation heat map here, on the 1-year time frame, you can see that we have over $16 billion worth of long positions that would get taken out of the market if we reach that 90K level, roughly speaking. Although there's also a lot of liquidity sitting at about 89,000 US dollars. And with so much liquidity to the downside, it kind of reminds me of this time frame here, where, for example, we had a lot of liquidity sitting at around 50K for the Bitcoin price that had been there from about February, and then we only ended up taking it out in August. Now, the reason I mentioned that big level of liquidity at 50K is because while we were trading in this range, that 50K level for quite some time seemed pretty unlikely to be reached. However, then eventually we got a big drop to the downside immediately, sweeping that level of liquidity at 50K and then reversing from there. And here, this just looks somewhat similar, where we have a lot of liquidity to the downside, basically just sitting here waiting to be taken out while we're still in this downtrend. So it wouldn't be surprising to me if we end up taking out that level and potentially even just bounce from there. Although this is certainly not a call or a prediction. I'm not really a long-term type of trader. I trade the much lower time frames. And most of the time, as you can see by these recent trend lines in the charts here, I'm just looking for some kind of shift in momentum to occur and then trade off of that. I'm not really looking for those massive up or down swings, because In my personal opinion, they are much less controllable than the much lower time frames. Either way, that is not the point of this video. Let's take a quick look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. Yesterday, we saw a small outflow of about $44 million, but yeah, there simply isn't too much going on with these Bitcoin ETFs right now, so I'm not really going to go too much deeper into it. I just wanted to report this data for today. Now, before I leave off here today, I want to invite you to the Road to 1 Million community on Discord. This is one of the most active crypto trading communities in the crypto space right now. So if you are into leverage trading or even just trading crypto in general, I recommend you come join this. It is completely free, and you can find the link to this in the video description. Either way, if you do end up joining or not, thank you for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.